First, let's design some more CSS elements that we need. Go to the style.css page in the left panel. Let's type the necessary CSS on this page. From the first line, body, open curly brackets. After entering between the curly brackets, I come to the second line. Now let's type the CSS code needed to change the background color of this body section here. Now we have to add a button in this design. So I create related CSS codes. From the fourth line, button, curly brackets, and in the fifth line, it was given as margin :10px semicolon. Now, after entering, I came to the sixth line and gave as height :40px semicolon. Now, after entering, I come to the seventh line and it is given as width :100px semicolon. I entered and came to the eighth line and gave as background :616 OFF semicolon. Now I entered and came to the ninth line and gave as color :FFF semicolon. Now I entered and came to the 10th line and gave as font size :25px semicolon. Now I enter and come to the 11th line and font family double quotation give as startliches, sans serif semicolon inside it. Now I give as border radius :10px in the line 12. You little ones may have seen that when you hover a button, it means that when the mouse pointer comes to the button, something happens like color changes, the border changes. So let's create the CSS code related to that. Now from the 14th line, I give as button :hover and open curly brackets. Now I give as border color :616 OFF semicolon from the 15th line. Now I come to line 16 and give as color :616 OFF semicolon. I type as background color :ADD8E6 semicolon from the 16th line. Then when we hover the add button, we can see that it changes as it is said. We don't use a dot when we write related to a tag, but when we write related to a class, we use a dot. Well, let's write the code related to the container class. Inside the dot container selector, inside the curly brackets in the 19th line, width :55% semicolon and enter. Padding :10px, 20px semicolon and enter. Margin :auto semicolon and enter. Margin -top :50px semicolon and enter. Background URL open bracket and paste the location. Close the bracket semicolon and enter. Background size cover semicolon is entered. Well, now let's see the code related to the child elements of the container class. First, we need to select all the child elements related to the container. For that, we write as dot container, angular, bracket, asterisk mark, curly bracket. Now let's write the code related to all child elements in the container. In the 27th line, inside curly brackets, width :85% semicolon and enter. Margin :auto semicolon and enter. Margin -top :10px semicolon and enter. Background RGBA open bracket 255 255 255 0.25 close bracket semicolon and enter. Box -shadow :0 8px 32px 0 RGBA open bracket 31 38 135 0.37 close bracket semicolon and enter. Backdrop -filter :blur open bracket 9.0px close bracket semicolon and enter. WebKit backdrop filter :blur open bracket 9.0px close bracket semicolon and enter. Border -radius :10px semicolon and enter. Border :1px solid RGBA open bracket 255 255 255 0.18 close bracket semicolon is entered. Now I make the styles related to the topic I enter in this 37th line. type as hash first P and create a new ID. Now in the row 38, the color of the letters is named as white. From the 39th line, the font size is changed to 22 pixels. From the 40th line, the style required to make the letters bold is given. In the 41st line, it is changed as text-align center. Now I create a class called controller in the 43rd line. We have added CSS like this.